Hello, everyone. I hope many of you were able to enjoy the creation account and the scavenger hunt that went along with it. I know it's been a long couple of months since this coronavirus and the quarantine stuff started. I know you weren't able to go to school, go to church, do the normal things that we do, go visit our friends and family. It's taken a toll on many of us, just not being able to get out and have life like we're used to. I think about people that are in nursing homes whose families can't come and go and visit them. I think about people that were quarantined to cruise ships. Did you know that there were people on cruise ships for 3 months because people on the ship had contracted the coronavirus? I know that might sound like fun to some of you to be able to be on a cruise ship for 3 months. Oh, it sounds like a great vacation. Well, many of them were quarantined to a single room, a very small room, for much of the time while they were on that cruise. Today, we're going to look into God's Word and talk about someone who was quarantined on a different type of boat. What do I mean? What am I talking about? Well, I'm going to read from God's Word about the account of Noah and the ark. Now, this is a familiar account to many of us. If I were to ask you, how long was Noah and his family on the ark? What would you say? Would you answer what most of this world says? 40 days and 40 nights? Well, let's fact check that answer. Let's go to the source, God's Word, and see what it has to say. Let's start with why were Noah and his family on the ark? Now, reading from Genesis chapter 6, verse 11. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on the earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all earth, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood. So God told Noah to build an ark. Who did Noah take on the ark? It was Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. Now, many people would say that they also took 2 of every kind of animal. Is that accurate? Let's fact check that one. Genesis chapter 7, verse 2. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. There were 7 pairs of some of the animals. Why? Well, when Noah and his family got off the ark, they sacrificed some of these animals. Had they only taken 1 of that type, there would have been none left to repopulate the earth. How long were they on the ark? Was our original question. Let's read chapter 7, starting in verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the 2nd month. The what? The 17th day of the 2nd month of Noah's 600th year of life. So when Noah was 600 years, 1 month, and 17 days old. Now, you might say, that can't be. That's not the same as years today. Well, back in that time, there wasn't the diseases, the health issues, the pollution in the environment, and all the many things that caused people to die earlier than that. As far as was a year the same then as it is now, let's go back to the creation account that we read last week. Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 says, And God said, Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. What was he talking about there? The sun and the moon were the lights. Today, we mark our day and night by the rise and the setting of the sun and the moon at night, the same as they did then. The sun and the moon today also mark our years based on how they travel with the earth and rotate. So a year then is calculated the same as today. What happened on that day? On that day, all the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and the rain fell on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. So what happened for 40 days and 40 nights? The rain fell. Does that mean at the end of the 40 days and the 40 nights that Noah and his family got off the ark? No. That's how long that the rain fell. Let's jump ahead to chapter 8, verse 1. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him on the ark. And he sent the wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. 150 days, the 17th day of the 7th month. This is 5 months after Noah and his family entered the ark. We've been under quarantine for 3. Noah and his family were quarantined 100% inside the ark for 5 months at this point. Let's continue. The waters continue to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible. The first day of the 10th month, 7.5 months in, what happened? The water came down to just the tops of the mountains showing. I don't think they're ready to get off the ark yet. Let's jump ahead to chapter 8, verse 13. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. What? The first day of the first month of when Noah turned 601? So this would be on his birthday. They had been on the ark 10.5 months at this point. It's a long time. By the 27th day of the second month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so that they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in numbers." The 27th day of the second month of Noah's 601st year. This is 370 to 375 days, over a year after they entered the ark. That's a whole lot longer than 40 days. Can you imagine being quarantined to your home, not able to leave for over a year? Now, when this quarantine is all over and things go back to normal, will it be exactly the same as what it was before? Probably not. Was it the same for Noah and his family after a year? No. When they left the ark, there was no other people on this earth. The only animals there were were those that were on the ark with them. One of your challenges for this week that I'd like you to do is I would like for you to build an ark. It can be any type of replica. You can even color it or draw it. Me, I made a simple paper boat to represent the ark. See here if I don't drop it. You can make your boat out of Play-Doh. You can go outside, find some leaves and find some tree branches and make a boat. Be creative. Use whatever type of material you want, or as I said, simply draw it. I'd love for you to email me pictures of those. Now, when we think of the story of Noah's Ark, we also think of one more prominent point to this. Let's skip ahead to Genesis chapter 9. And we're going to start reading in verse 8. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and your descendants after you, and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, all those that came out of the ark with you. Every living creature on earth, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears on the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. So God gave the rainbow as a promise, as a symbol of a promise to Noah and his family and all creatures of that time. But to who else did he give it? Let me reread this. I now establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you. Later it says, a covenant for all generations to come. That includes me. That includes you. God's promise was made for people then, for people now, and for all people of the future. The symbol of the rainbow. My second challenge to you this week is for you to recreate a rainbow and take a picture. You can color it, you can draw it. Sometimes you'll go out and you'll see the sun shining into a puddle and you'll see the rainbow. Or if it rains and you see one in the sky, take a picture. If you want a little more of a challenge, you can recreate a rainbow with a water hose and a little bit of spraying it. You can check out ways to do this on videos on the internet if you need. Talk to your parents before searching anything on the internet. I want you, though, to take away from this that God made many promises. Here he made the promise to never destroy the whole earth with a flood. That promise is just as true today as it was back when he made it to Abraham. I hope you enjoy this week and have fun creating your arts